myself Hena Shah, Assistant Professor at LG Institutes of Engineering and Technology. So today we are going to discuss the next topic of beta and gamma functions. Okay, so let us start with a definition of beta function. So the beta function is defined as beta m comma n, that is equals to integration 0 to 1 x raised to m minus 1 into 1 minus x raised to n minus 1 dx, where m comma n should be greater than 0, right? And the notation of beta function is beta m comma n. Okay, so now let us study the trigonometric form of beta function. Now in order to derive the trigonometric form, we will assume our x as a sine square theta. Okay, so dx will be what? 2 sine theta cos theta d theta. Okay, so now we will also find the limits in the form of theta. So here the limit of x is what? X is equals to 0, right? So if you put 0 in this, so you will get theta is equals to 0. Now if you consider x as 1, then the limit of theta will be what? Pi by 2. Okay. So now let us put all the values in our definition. So what we will get? Beta m comma n will be equals to integration 0 to pi by 2 x raised to m minus 1, right? Now instead of x we are putting what? Sine square theta. So what we'll get? Sine theta raised to 2m minus 2. In the definition we have 1 minus x raised to n minus 1. But our x is sine square theta, right? So what we'll get? 1 minus sine square theta, that will be what? Cos theta raised to 2n minus 2. And your dx is what? 2 sine theta cos theta d theta, right? Now we'll simplify this. So we will get 2 times integration 0 to pi by 2 sine theta raised to 2m minus 1, right? We'll simplify this and this. And cos theta will be also raised to 2n minus 1 d theta, right? So now we'll replace our theta by x, right? So what we'll get? Our beta mn as 2 times integration 0 to pi by 2 sine raised to 2m minus 1x into cos raised to 2n minus 1x dx, right? So this is our trigonometric form of beta function, right? So now let us state and prove the relationship between beta and gamma functions, right? So the statement is beta mn is equals to gamma m into gamma n upon gamma m plus n, right? We have to prove this. Okay, so let us start with the proof. We'll begin with this part, that is gamma m into gamma n. Now we know the formula of gamma function, that is 2 times integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square x raised to 2m minus 1 ds. Because here we have m, so here too we will put m. And now we have to write the formula of gamma n, that will be equals to 2 times integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus y square x raised to 2n minus 1 dx, right? Now we will simplify this. So what we will get? 4 times double integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square plus y square x raised to 2m minus 1 y raised to 2n minus 1 dx dy, right? So now we will evaluate this using our polar coordinates, that is x is equals to r cos theta, y is equals to r sin theta. So from this we can say that x square plus y square is equals to r square. Okay. Now let us write the limits of x and y. So the limits of x are x is equals to 0 to infinity and the limits of y are y is equals to 0 to infinity, right? So firstly let us draw the graph in our xy plane. Now because x and y are ranging from 0 to infinity, we can say that our region R is the first quadrant. Okay. Now let us find the limits in form of r and theta. Firstly we are given x is equals to 0. Therefore, we can write r cos theta is equals to 0. So, from this we can say that r is equals to 0 and cos theta is equals to 0, right? Therefore, our theta will be equals to what? Pi by 2. Next, we are given x is equals to infinity. Therefore, r cos theta is equals to infinity. So, from this we can say that r is equals to infinity because cos theta is never equals to infinity, right? Next, we are given y is equals to 0. Therefore, r sin theta will be equals to 0, right? Therefore, r is equals to 0 and our sin theta is equals to 0, right? So, from this we can say that theta is equals to 0. And lastly, we are given y is equals to infinity. Therefore, r sin theta is equals to infinity. Therefore, our r tends to infinity because sin theta can never be equals to infinity, right? Now, let us draw the graph in our r and theta plane, right? Now our r is ranging from 0 to infinity, right? So r is ranging from 0 to infinity and our theta moves from 0 to pi by 2. So from this also our region is our first quadrant, right? So now let us evaluate and write our limits, that is r is equals to 0 to r is equals to infinity and theta is equals to 0 to theta is equals to pi by 2, right? So our gamma m into gamma n will become 4 times double integration from 0 to pi by 2, 0 to infinity e raised to minus r square into r cos theta raised to 2m minus 1 into r sin theta raised to what? 2n minus 1 r dr d theta, right? Now we'll simplify this. So what we will get? 4 times double integration from 0 to pi by 2, 0 to infinity e raised to minus r square. Now just collect all the r terms. So what you will get? R raised to 2m plus 2n minus 1. Now write cos raised to 2n minus 1 theta and sin raised to 2n minus 1 theta dr d theta, right? Now what we will do, we will separate r terms and theta terms, right? So from this we can say that this is what? Gamma m plus n, and this is our formula of beta m comma n, right? So finally from this we can say that beta m comma n is equals to gamma m into gamma n upon gamma n plus n. Okay, so now let us solve one example. So we have to find the value of beta 2 comma 3, right? So we know that beta m comma n is what? Gamma m into gamma n upon gamma m plus n. So here the value of m is what? 2 and the value of n is 3, right? So what we will get? Beta 2 3 will be equals to gamma 2 into gamma 3 upon gamma 2 plus 3. Right? So next, we know gamma n plus 1 is equals to what? N factorial, right? Therefore, gamma 2 can be written as what? 1 plus 1, right? So it will be equals to what? 1 factorial. Similarly, using this formula, gamma 3 will be equals to 2 factorial and this gamma 5 will be equals to what? 4 factorial, right? So this is the answer of beta 2 comma 3. Now simplify this further, so you will get answer as 1 upon 12. Okay, so now we have to prove that integration 0 to 2 x raised to 4 8 minus x cube raised to 1 upon 3 will be equals to 64 by 3 times beta 5 by 3 comma 4 by 3. Okay, so this we have to prove. So let us start with the solution. So firstly we will assume this as I. Okay, now we all know the formula of beta mn, that is equals to integration 0 to 1 x raised to m minus 1 into 1 minus x raised to n minus 1 dx, right? So in order to convert this into this form, right, what we will do, we will assume our x as 2t, right? Therefore, our dx will be what? 2 dt, right? And our limits of x are what? Firstly, x is equals to 0 and x is equals to 2. So, our t will be what? 0 and t will be equals to 1, right? So now let us put all these values in our I. So what we will get, I is equals to integration 0 to 1 2t raised to 4 into 8 minus 8t cube whole raised to 1 upon 3 into 2 dt, right? Now let us simplify this. So what we will get, integration 0 to 1 2t raised to 4, this 8 will take out common, so it will be 8 raised to 1 by 3 into 1 minus t cube whole raised to 1 upon 3 into 2 dt, right? On further simplification, we will get I as integration 0 to 1 2 raised to 6 t raised to 4 into 1 minus t cube whole raised to 1 upon 3 dt. Now we will simplify this further. So what we will get, 64 times integration 0 to 1 t raised to 4 into 1 minus t cube whole raised to 1 upon 3 dt, right? Now in order to get this into our beta function, again we have to assume our t cube as y, right? So our 3t square dt will be equals to what, dy. Now let us find the limits. Now we are given the limit of t as what, 0. So the limit of y will be equals to 0. Next the limit of t is what, 1, right? So y will be also equals to 1, right? So let us put all these values in our I. So what we will get, I is equals to 64 by 3 integration 0 to 1 y raised to 4 by 3 into 1 minus y whole raised to 1 upon 3 into y raised to minus 2 upon 3 dy. How we have written this? We have converted this t in the form of y raised to 1 by 3. Okay. Now let us simplify this further. So what we will get, 64 by 3 into integration of 0 to 1 y raised to 2 by 3 into 1 minus y raised to 1 upon 3 dy, right? So now we will compare this with our formula of beta m comma n, that is equals to integration 0 to 1 x raised to m minus 1 into 1 minus x raised to n minus 1 dx, right? So we have written I in the form of 64 by 3 integration 0 to 1 y raised to 5 by 3 minus 1 into 1 minus y raised to 4 by 3 minus 1 dy. Now compare these two, right? So 64 by 3 will remain as it is, and this will be written as beta of 5 by 3 comma 4 by 3. On comparing, you will get your value of m as 5 by 3 and value of n as what, 4 by 3. Okay, so we have proved our desired equation, right? So I hope you have understood throughout the session. Thank you for watching.